Instant gratification. You know we all want it. And if it comes at no cost, that's even better. In the world of audio and video content, we've gotten our wish. It's time to tune in to podcasts. We can listen to and watch what we want, when we want, how we want. Podcasting isn't new by any means, but now it's more convenient than ever. Thanks to Apple's new podcast app for iOS, I'm happy to report we now have a one-stop shop to access the hundreds of thousands of free podcasts available through the iTunes Store. Not too long ago, downloading podcasts meant searching out the difficult-to-find podcast section in iTunes and then having to go through countless steps to search, discover, and subscribe to podcasts. When you open the new dedicated app, you'll notice a huge difference in navigational capabilities. You're automatically greeted by two categories: podcasts and top stations. Podcasts is the home base for all of your current subscriptions. If you want to go a little crazy and find something new for your listening pleasure, check out top stations. When you do, you can swipe the toggle switch at the top of your screen to narrow down the search to just audio or just video. I'm a visual kind of person, so let's kick things off in video. The data did take a while for me to load, but once you've reached this page, you'll be able to scroll horizontally through categories like arts, business, and comedy. Some will have subtopics. Like food, for example, it's actually stored under arts. In each category, you can scroll down to reveal the top 4 or 5 choices in that grouping. Before you subscribe to a particular podcast, though, just tap the little info circle to read up on it, or you can stream the latest episode by simply tapping the feature image. If that dessert is making your mouth water, like mine is, subscribe to that podcast to receive new episodes as soon as they're made available. A quick word of warning though, even though I'm sure you all know this, that requires Wi-Fi or cellular data. To listen or watch your favorite podcast offline, I suggest downloading a few for that rainy, I'm nowhere near Wi-Fi kind of day. To do that, just tap the info button and you'll see a whole list of episodes for that podcast. All you have to do now is press the gray arrow, also known as the download button. If you're listening to your latest audio downloads at midnight and your eyelids are kind of getting heavy, you'll love the sleep timer that Apple included. You can set it to stop after a set period of time or at the end of your current episode, instead of carrying on to the next. Another useful feature is the skip function. You can skip back 10 seconds if you missed what was said, or jump ahead by 30 to skip any unnecessary commercials, which quite frankly we're not a fan of, but they're pretty rare. And for video podcasts, the zoom button is awesome. For a food podcast, you can still hear the chef's directions, but you can actually see what they're doing. And you can turn your device to portrait mode for extra zoom. You know I could talk food all day, but there's a world of choice in this app. From TED Talks to Ricky Gervais, Apple wasn't exaggerating with their hundreds of thousands of podcast promise. Tap on over to Catalog and you can check out featured and chart-topping podcasts, or you can look for something a little more specific with its search functionality. That's how I came across 2 of my personal favorites: Jamie Oliver's Ministry of Food and This American Life. In under 10 minutes, Jamie somehow manages to teach you how to whip up impressive dishes like salmon tikka with cucumber yogurt and naan bread. That's a third of the time you'd have to dedicate to watching a regular old cooking show on TV. It's a must for guys and gals on the go. And one of our favorites here at GC for inspiring, comical, educational, relevant, odd stories told in an unparalleled way is This American Life. Most audio apps fit into a category: news, business, comedy. Well, This American Life touches on everything. The stories you listen to aren't about celebrities or current affairs. They're a unique spin on real people and everyday occurrences. Now, I'm sure you all have your own favorites, so let us know and we'll be sure to check them out. With a slew of podcasts to choose from and Apple's new app for iOS 5, the worlds of food, investing, literature, you name it, are literally at your fingertips.
Gotta get connected.